Hey, the Red Rocker, Sammy Hagar here. Welcome to another rock and roll road trip. Now this week we got a legendary guitarist.
Where?
As good as they get. He's humble, not really, Mr. Steve Lukather. Steve,
hey, Sam.
thanks for doing this to start with.
Good to see you, man.
Everyone I talk to about you, everybody talks about how funny you are and how fun you are to hang with and all that stuff. It's like, well, why didn't you become a comedian? Because you are funny.
Let me tell you a story. Jeff Garland's a friend of mine, and he came over to the pool the other day, and we were hanging, and you know, he says, "You're funny, but you're not comedian funny." I said, "I know that." He goes, "I'm funny to my friends, but man, I'd never get up on the comedy store because comedy is not easy."
Okay, Toto. Everybody knows Toto. Hello. I mean, come on. Probably had one of the biggest Grammy nights.
Yeah, we did. That
history.
was way back in '82. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 5 Grammys in one night. What was it
9.
like? 9?
Yeah.
Won 5 Grammys. Let me get my shit straight. Wait.
That's all right. Yeah, I think
Okay.
you know that we
But
won
9
collectively.
Grammys,
yeah, and I won one for best R&B song for "Turn Your Love Around" that I wrote for George Benson with Jay Graydon and Bill Champlin.
Well, there you go. That's the other thing. A lot of people don't realize how many songs you've written for other people.
Well, I have. I've written a lot of songs.
Yeah.
With her. I wrote the Tube stuff, you know, "Talk to You Later," and "She's a Beauty" with Foster and Champlin.
Once in a million girl.
Fee Waybill, the legendary Fee Waybill.
Million girl. He was a great singer, actually.
He still is.
Yeah, and so are you. So
Yeah,
as a singer,
I'm
listen,
like
this is what
guitar player that can sing a little
this
bit.
is what I'm trying to get at.
You're a singer. I'm not.
No,
I do it because
you're
I
a good
have
singer.
to.
You sing on key. You have control. You're like Clapton to me. Clapton's a great singer. You're a great singer. But everyone, if you say Steve Lukather, oh, he's a great guitar player. People don't talk about you as a singer. You say Eric Clapton, he's a great guitar player. I think
it's just because I sing only because I have to, and if there's something, a little break for Joseph.
Oh, you sing good.
Thanks, man. I try. I mean, sometimes it's live, it's loud, and you know, you miss one. You know, there's no frets in the voice. You know.
You don't want to be a full-time singer.
No, man.
About an hour and a half into the set, you're going, oh God,
dude. You know, yeah. I mean, I have a lot of respect, man, especially at the level where you got to be screaming and shit. And you've always been very consistent, so you know, a lot of deep respect. You know.
What were you like listening to growing up? Like, what made you who you are today? The Beatles?
Beatles was my on-switch to life. It's like the Wizard of Oz where it goes like black and white to color. I was like, you know, 7 years old, and I saw it on Ed Sullivan, and I said, "George Harris, I want to be that guy. Who makes that noise?" You know, I loved them all.
Wow.
When we all saw the Beatles, it was like life changed. Yeah, and we followed them until the Stones came, and then the British invasion, and then of course we got Beck, Clapton, and Page. And that was my second generation that triumvirate started a whole thing with guitar, you know what I mean? And then as that time got later on, it was the fusion guys would come in, and then Eddie fucking blew the roof off of everything, you know? And everybody did that ad nauseum to the point where Ed's going like, you know, I didn't mean to start a monster here.
Who's the best musician, though, that you've ever played with? You think? Who is the guy? I mean, you've played with all these great guys. I haven't played with a lot of these guys.
Well, I got to play with Miles. That was pretty cool. Wayne Shorter and Herbie Hancock at the Tokyo Jazz Festival. That was pretty heavy. I get the chance to move to different. I play with the funk guys, with Quincy and all that stuff, and then I can play with you guys, cranking up the. You know, I'm basically a rock and roll guitar player that studied theory and harmony, and
you know, take it one step beyond.
And I make up my own parts on all the records and do this shit. So I mean, it's like I can read, but it's like, you know, they never hired me for my excellent reading. You know. They'd write out all parts for everybody else, and they'd give me chord symbols because I'd come up with parts that they wouldn't think of.
That's interesting that you can read because you don't play like a guy that reads. Because you can ad-lib. A lot of guys that read.
Well, I started that way.
Yeah.
Reading was done out of necessity to become a studio musician.
How many sessions have you done probably in your life?
Oh, man.
Toto played on a lot of people's records, right?
We did.
The whole band.
I mean, like you know, thousands. Literally.
That's unbelievable.
If you look at the back of my book, my book, The Gospel According to Luke, shameless plug, it's a #1, 5 stars. I explained the whole thing. It's in detail about all that, you know, just what a wonderful time that was. We never knew what we were going to play, who we were going to play with, or who the artist was, or you know, a contractor goes, yeah, Capitol, Monday through Friday, 12 to 6. Okay, I'll be there. Barbra Streisand's there. You know, we're doing that that day. Being a rock star is a pretty lofty dream. You know what I mean? So you always had to have, well, if I can't be that, I still want to play. So like, you know, let me get into this studio thing because I was so enamored by playing with all these great. I'm sitting next to Elton. He's playing Leave On for me while we're in Beverly's Alps at Super Bear Studios in '79. And when you get a call and you get like, you know, Quincy Jones needs you, or Elton wants you, or you know, Neil Diamond wants to do a record. I want to play with the Diamond.
One of the greatest songs. He's so profound with the like simple songs like I am, I cry. It just gives me goosebumps.
There's a lot of people that have longevity for a reason.
Yeah. I don't think people realize who you are and what you've done unless they're musicians. Like you haven't been in the public, you've been in the public everywhere, but you're always playing with Ringo, you're playing with Michael Jackson, you're playing, it's like you're only...
Well, I was able to do both because I love doing both. I quit doing sessions like 25 years ago. Like, I'll do a guest spot for somebody, a friend or something like. But I don't go to work every day going, what am I doing? Because it doesn't exist anymore. We were the last guys of the session guys that didn't know it was going to happen every day and were block booked 24 sessions a week. Plus, I was in a band. So,
oh man!
But we made it all work. We just scheduling.
Absolutely. What happened on Total 5? I mean, what was it like?
Bobby got busted, and it put our name. Forever put that name. The cocaine thing in front of us. It's like, guys, how could we have done all that and be completely out of our minds? Now, did I have nights? Yeah, of course I did. But if you had a 10 a.m. session and shit like that, if you didn't sleep, you better play good. I remember I rolled into a Quincy session once, and he looked at me and goes, you've been up all night, haven't you? I'm like, what are you talking about? He grabs me by the nose like this. He goes, you better play good for me. I said, I did. I will. I was due. But when you're 20, when you're 20,
grabbing your nose, come on, that's a fucking.
No. He wasn't necessarily alluding to that.
No, but I'm just saying, Quincy Jones.
We were close back then. I was working with him. I did like 6 records in a row with him.
Was Michael involved deep in the music and stuff? He's such a. I mean, he's.
Well, when we remade "Beat It" to Eddie's solo and Michael's lead vocal, and a trap case on 2 and 4, and Jeff went out and had they erased the. I don't know the story. That I've heard conflicting stories that Eddie cut the 2-inch tape and screwed up the Sympty so they couldn't put the master back up.
That's possible.
All I know is that Jeff Vicar and I had to go to Sunset Sound and make this record from scratch to that because they didn't want to keep. They wanted to keep the first generation masters of the lead vocal and Ed solo.
Wow.
So Jeff went out and did a little click track, put a drum track down. Really, second take, he nailed it, and then I played the guitar, the initial guitar riff, and I played bass on it too.
Damn.
And then
you realize who I'm talking to here?
No,
See, I didn't know this.
No, and I went to.
I didn't know this, Steve. I've known you forever. I don't see how you can sleep at night without going back and taking inventory and thinking about all that stuff and wake up in the morning with this beat your chest, call a guy like me up and say, why would I do your show, fucking little punk?
It doesn't work like that.
Oh, it doesn't work like that?
I got a new record out.
I know.
Promotion, and you invited me to promote.
With Ringo playing drums. I mean,
yeah,
so now, here we go. So now,
we've written a bunch of stuff
together. Beatles. I mean,
I've got to play with George and Paul and Ringo.
Wow.
George was a buddy of mine before he passed, man. I loved him. He's the reason why I play guitar.
He seemed like just such a down-home guy.
Oh, he was the nicest guy.
Look, Ringo, every time I see him do an interview, I think, he's just like me. He's like you. He's like us.
Here's the thing you find. When I see some cats like going off on some ego trip, I go hang out with these guys again. The guys that you would think would have thugs and limos everywhere. Nah, man.
Yeah.
Simple life, man.
Brothers. You've played with brothers. AC/DC brothers, the Kinks, the Van Halen brothers with me. They're tough. I mean, it's like...
I get along with everybody.
I do too.
I'm Switzerland.
You're a Libra like me.
Switzerland.
Come on, we're friggin' Libras, right?
Me too.
October
I'm
13th.
Switzerland, man. I mean, I got enough band problems without jumping into his or yours or anybody else's, man. I just shut the fuck up and play the guitar.
But
I don't hate anybody.
It's classically tough. But did you see what I saw in Van Halen was the brothers going at it more than me with either one of them.
I've seen that. I had 3 brothers in the band.
Yeah. Oh my God.
3 at one point.
And then you get.
And when it got dark, me and Paige would just go, "Let's go have a drink."
Yeah, because when you try to get in the middle of 2 brothers
slowly
fighting,
I turn,
it doesn't
step
work.
by step.
Is what I was going to get at. Is says who is the greatest rock guitar player on the planet?
Well, I mean, you got Ed. At this point, I mean, he started something that people have taken to another level. But it's much like people go, Ringo's drumming also changed the face of rock and roll. No, he's not Neil Peart. No, he's not Vinnie Colaiuta.
It's a great way to put it.
But he's the only guy that when you play a drum track, soloed, you know what song it is. He's so creative with his parts, and there was no click tracks on that shit. That was his time.
Yeah.
Those tracks were live. I've heard the stuff,
When we opened the Cabo
and that was so fresh. Yeah, I was there at the Cabo.
That's what I was saying. And Eddie and you guys, you were friends, and I didn't really know you much back then. I just remember when you got on stage with us, and we played rock and roll, I was going, from you. You were pumping that groove so damn hard, you know. And,
That's the most important thing.
Yes, it is.
I don't mind being a supportive player, man.
No,
I'm
you
like
solo too, but I just remember you being so powerful. And I told Ed, I said, man, that motherfucker, he's a bad motherfucker, you know. Ed, he acted like I was trying to dog you. I said, no, like he was standing up for you and giving you a lot of good love.
I love you, Ed.
Well, I know, that's why I'm bringing this up, because I want to get Eddie in there, because you guys have been friends.
For 40 years.
Probably better friends than him and I. You know, I mean, we were in a band together, so we had our
well, I've been in a band with guys I'm not friends with. So.
Yeah, there you go.
There's so many great players. I mean, so many guys. You know, I got to do G3 with Steve and Joe. That was humbling, man. I was so honored to be a part of that. To be at that level with those guys, Mike Keneally too, you know, and it's just such world. I love to play with guys better than me. I mean, I grow from it.
Where are you finding these guys?
Well, I just mentioned a couple, but I mean, you know,
I wouldn't say they're better. Joe's a really accomplished hands musician.
Oh,
fucking
perfection.
knows what he's doing. Perfection.
Perfection. He doesn't hit bad notes.
I
do, because I go for weird shit and miss. I go, you know, okay, not everyone's a winner.
That's
you know
the
what
stuff I like, Steve. Okay, I have a thing called this or that. So you can't say, well, maybe, both, or well.
It's a very specific this or that.
This is how I find out about you. This is one that I study the most. So
okay, break it out.
It's not that heavy. It's just simple.
Give it
just
to me,
really
man.
Clean. Okay, Toto or solo?
Now solo.
Okay, playing live or like writing songs?
Playing live.
Okay, great. Draw the line or Africa?
It's hold the line.
Oh, yeah. Hold the line.
Draw the line happened after the
That
gig.
was another. Okay, hold the line or Africa.
Hey, that was '78. What the
Hold
fuck
the
do you
line
want?
or Africa.
LA was frozen.
One was a giant hit, and the other one was a pretty good hit.
Well, I like Hold the Line because I was 19
That's
when I
what
did it. It was my first one. It's a little more guitar heavy.
I predicted that. I told my wife that this morning.
And
when I came up
Africa
with that
is
one.
as successful as it is. I don't make any money.
Successful
off
as it is, Africa's the biggest song in history. But anyway, okay, great. New material or your classic hits? Like if you had to play for the rest of your life, would you play brand new shit or would you rather play your hits?
Just remember, when you first put the album out, it is brand new shit. But 10 years later, it's not.
I know.
But everybody wants to
that's
hear
classics.
the shit then. You know, they'll listen to a few new tunes
Okay,
as long
do you
as you
enjoy
give
playing your classics?
Yeah, in front of people. You're not going to see
Damn
me
right,
sitting around the
yeah.
house playing Africa or something
Damn
like that.
right.
I'd be breaking guitars if I
Damn
did
right.
that.
I'm
you know?
so glad you said that. I hate it when artists, oh, fuck, I don't want to play that song ever again. It's like, a fucking #1 hit. The people
No,
wanna
you got to
hear
play
it.
the hits. It's a drag if you don't.
Okay.
You can sneak some music in there if you give them what they want.
Give me a quick Sammy Davis. Come on, just give me a quick Sammy Davis.
You are a delight. I haven't done that for a while, so that was a shitty impression. I'm sorry.